Hey everybody, it's Scott O'Mato back for episode 11 of my Thaumcraft 1 Let's Play. Hope everybody's having a great day. Guys, I've done a lot between episodes just to get us up to the point where, we can really conquer this world. Basically, I built mostly a power flower, so I went through and grinded through equivalent exchange as needed. This is not the full power flower. It's still missing the bottom piece, which is these 4 collectors, and then we could have access at the top or at the side or whatever. We'll probably look at that later on in the playthrough here to finish this out. But basically, if you don't know just what I went through in the last episode, you're just connecting a relay in between collectors. So there's 4 relays, one on each corner here, with the collectors surrounding them. So you're trying to surround it on all sides to get as maximum amount of collection as you can, and then everything feeds into this center collector. I said collectors, these are condensers. All right, so these are condensers. Now I have a Project E Let's Play on my channel. If you want to learn everything about Project E, this is equivalent exchange 2. They're basically the same in a lot of ways. Project E is based on that. It's an advancement of it, but it's based on it. Then you can learn from there. All right. So guys, right now, with having all those resources gathered, we are sitting at 20 million EMC. All right. So we have 20 million additional EMC to play with. So I can pretty much get most of the items that I want. I did test out the dark matter pedestals with the watch of flowing time here, and they're not nearly as much of a boost as you get in Project E, okay? So the Tech-It Wiki says that they boost global machines, which I would assume mean every machine in the world. I haven't seen that as being the case, but by 7%, all right? Up to 10 times a speed increase, all right? So I have 2 of them. That would, and they're stackable, so it'd either be like 14%, or maybe it'd be an additional 7% of 7%. Not sure how that works, but 14% at least. All right. So I'm not seeing a huge boost. I've been using this to produce dark matter, and then just feeding dark matter into the table. So it's not extremely quick, even with all of these collectors and condensers, or condensers and relays. So it's Project E does a lot faster potentially than this, but I can handle it. This is not totally a Project E playthrough. I just want to use it to get resources, and I did want to play with it. Now, one thing I didn't understand, I had actually forgotten about it, is you can't put fuel in the table here because, all right, like see if I take a Eternalist fuel, for instance, and I try to put it into the table, it will not go. All right, it just bounces it right back out. So if I put it there, see, it just bounces it right back out. Now the reason behind that is in this equivalent exchange versions, there's a thing called a matter lock that goes on the table, and I'm glad Project E got rid of that because it's pointless, really. But you're either in fuel mode or item mode. All right, and it depends on what you first put into the table. So if you put an item into the table first, you lock it to item mode. You put a piece of fuel in there, then you lock it to fuel mode. And the only way to get it out is to empty the table. You apparently can take Klein stars and empty all the EMC and keep the items and switch between it. But I just don't even see the point of that. So I'm not going to mess with that. But that does answer why can I put fuel in there. And so I've just been using this collector here, condenser here, to make my fuels, just so I have some backups of fuels. And then I use it to make some blaze rods and blaze powder, and then some of the potion ingredients and stuff. So you can see I've decorated the base a little bit more. These are blocks from the Decoratives mod. They're called Fancy Wood, I think. No, wait, this one's Fancy Wood. These are like Fancy something or other. Fancy cobblestone. And then there's a fancy stone too that looks pretty good. So another thing, so you can see I've gotten potion ingredients by using the condenser to get magma cream. Nether wart only grows in the nether, so this is just decorative. But I don't need to really grow it. I may do a nether base, but probably not, because the nether's not extremely interesting here. One thing I did also do is expand this to swap the redstone crucible of eyes with the standard crucible, because this one will never fill up. You still have this, issue with it getting locked or getting broken. So that's a flaw, but it doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal, and I can't really fix it without reprogramming these blocks. But you can see I still get tons of diamonds from it, so it doesn't even matter. So this is Redstone Control, but one thing to keep in mind is that when this is triggered by redstone, because this thing has a few points of failure that can happen. All right, so the number one thing is, see, I have it turned off right now. If I were to turn it on right now, you can't turn off this condenser from producing obsidian unless you remove the obsidian from it here, from the condenser. So it's got all this obsidian in it, and it will dump it all into there and overflow it immediately. So if you turn it off for a while, you need to take out that obsidian and just let it start from scratch. That's a thing that definitely can happen. You can see I have one of the covers on here so that the items can't get thrown out. But because this gets redstone triggered, if this thing gets filled, all right, there's a couple conditions on which it can get filled. One condition is if it runs out of glass. All right, if it runs out of glass, it can fill. If the arcane tinkering tools break and I don't catch it, then it can overfill. All right, so that is a thing that can happen. Kind of a flaw in the system. Something is hard to automate around it. I wish I had logistics pipes in here. I might be able to do something about it, but I've already got IDs assigned and stuff like that, so I'm not going to mess with it. But basically, if I could pull out these tinker tools and repair them with a repair talisman and then feed them back in, that would fix that. Glass, I could just have a chest with glass that's continually feeding glass in here, but I'm not too concerned about that. So basically, that's what we've got. I did use one of the wires from Red Power to connect it now, and I needed to put the conduit here because if this thing gets triggered with redstone, meaning it's full, the redstone travels over to this and turns it off. So the infuser gets turned off. So the very point of having something full, you want it to empty into the infuser. All right. So to do that, you need to put a conduit in between them so they don't touch each other and get triggered by redstone. But otherwise, this machine has served me very, very, very well. I have right now 2 stacks, almost 3 stacks of solidified V. All right. Excellent. And I have killed a number of the eldritch trees, so I have a good stock of that stuff and all of that. All right. So one of the things we want to do in this episode, I'll just show you some stuff outside as well. It's night. I don't really care that much, but it is night. So we'll go ahead and sleep. I'm not really scared of mobs at this time, even though I only have iron armor on. I could get dark matter armor, probably will. Let's see, I was going to look, I'd forgotten if Thaumcraft had its armor for thaumium, but it doesn't. Okay, in this version, there's not. Let me check for sure. Chest. Well, maybe. Yeah, there is. All right, so we may make that. Of course, we will make it for sure. I don't know if it'll be our main armor or not. We'll see. But anyway, I've got just an area blocked out over there. We're going to do some farm automation in this episode. I finished my wall. There was one more here. And it's just kind of a rough cobblestone broken down wall, which is, I like it. It's pretty cool. And built a path here. So that's the main stuff that's been done outside. It's becoming more refined, but I've been waiting to fly. And guys, I've been waiting on you guys till I do the next episode to fly. I want to fly so bad. So I do have the materials in my inventory for us to produce the Rending Gale. All right, from Equivalent Exchange. So Swiftwolf's Rending Gale. Oh, I've been waiting on this, guys. So basically, I just need the iron band. All right, that's just 8 iron. Show you the recipe. Surrounded by a bucket of lava, or you could use the vulcanite amulet. All right, and we'll want to produce that vulcanite amulet as well, because I'll probably be doing some lava lighting, I'm thinking. But having produced that guy, we only need the 4 dark matter and 4 feathers, and that gives us the Rending Gale. And so I have all that in my inventory, and yes, finally. So I get the bucket back. That's fine. Just throw that guy in here. It does need fuel. Okay, I think you can use redstone. Let's get a little bit of redstone. Redstone also doesn't go in the table. It's considered a fuel. So let's see. Yeah, G key should change the mode. Yes, fly. Fly like the wind. And so that's creative flight. Essentially, there's 2 modes of pushing mobs away. And then you can, I think there's some kind of, yeah, there's a mode here for the yellow mode where you can fire projectiles. And I believe they if you hit them, it has a big knockback, or you can put lightning on them as well. So let's get out of that mode and yeah, get into our fly mode. So I believe it uses redstone as fuel. It hasn't used any yet, so we can check that. I always have to refer back to the Tekkit wiki, which is pretty good. But now I can fly, guys, so I can see what's going on with this tree and get this finished, or at least continue to work on it. Yeah, so I've got this pillar here. Obviously this roof's not going to be flat like that. It's going to come out some. This may come out above the top so that we have this inset here and then the area over there. I've got plans for it. It was just such a real burden when you couldn't fly to do it. So here's the overview of our base. Looking good, looking good. I got leaves all underneath there. Pretty happy so far. Started, you don't have many flowers or anything in this. There's a creep. Let's see what this projectile does. Yeah, it knocks them back, way back. Ha, that's cool. They just take fall damage, I think. Wow. Yeah, they just take fall damage from that. And then I believe there's some kind of release charge. I think I killed him. Sorry, guy. I was going to test on you. Yeah, there's a R key for release charge, and I think that one might be the lightning one. But anyway, I'll look over that. This is definitely, let me see if it is using redstone. Yes. All right, so it is using redstone. That's fine. We'll want to create a Klein star for that. Now, some people don't understand Klein stars. They're basically just EMC batteries, guys. They store EMC inside of them, and you can use them as fuel sources for your items in your inventory. So it's basically a battery. So we just need Mobius fuel and a diamond is all. So I've got Mobius fuel over here. I've been producing it. So get 8 of those. Actually, I'll keep it out because we're going to go to the next level at least, so we have a little bit more storage. You have to do 4 of them for that. So we'll need 32 total of these and 4 diamonds. I'm going to get my diamond from back here because I got a bunch of them. I can pull it out of the table, of course. And then we also want to make the portable table from Equivalent Exchange, but it's not quite as useful because you got to do filtering and stuff like that. The search is not so good. So this should get us what we need to produce this guy. Let's see if it's shown in the list. Yeah. So let's see if I can get 4 of them to, no. Not sure what the holdup is, but maybe it'll only let me craft 1 at a time. Yeah, that's fine. Can't stack them. So there's 4 of those. All right, and then that'll get us to the next level, which is right here. Okay, and so this one should have a pretty decent amount of storage in it. let's take the redstone out of our inventory just so we can keep up with what's going on. And I can charge it in the table, I believe. I should have learned that first one. Yeah, I should have learned the first one, but it's not big a deal. Now you're seeing the bar, so it reduced our EMC down enough to fill it. And so that should be using our fuel, being used as our fuel right now. So I'm going through and producing Eternalist. To go to the next level above that, I basically just need 4 of these. So, you know, I should have captured that first one, but I won't be making, I don't think, another one of that low level. So it's not that big a deal. All right, so whenever that item is on your hotbar, then you can fly. Oh, I love flying. Makes all the difference. And it's pure creative flight. So that's really nice. I didn't make jetpacks or anything like that. So this guy's been building up lots of these V crystals. So we're in good shape on that. All right, so we are going to want to now start to look at doing an automated farm setup. We don't need it, but it's just for the fun of it. It's just doing it for fun at this point, and it is fun. It's a lot of fun. So we're going to want to produce some more symbols. We're going to need a series of symbols here. We haven't gone into great detail about them, but we're going to need an iron symbol, a earth symbol, wherever that is, a verdant symbol, yeah, and an earth symbol. All right, so we need iron symbol, a couple of them verdant symbols, one of those, and 2 of the earth symbols. All right, so I do have my book here. We can just go over what each one of those will do. Here, let's see. Okay, so you know the iron symbol pulls items toward it. We've had that out and gone over it. The verdant symbol promotes the growth of plants, crops, reeds, cacti, melon, watermelons grow much faster if there's a node nearby and there is V's to consume. You can also make moss stone from it, so we'll make a separate setup to do moss stone as well. All right, and you can use gold to increase the speed or iron to double the area. All right, now the earth symbol here, and it tells you what you need to craft it. So the verdant viz crystal, might as well start getting that going because it takes a moment. I only have 5 of those, but I can farm them in the forest biome next to us. So basically we just need to get a few blank symbols. So we're going to use up some of our gold. I'm going to get gold from the table. I've kept a stack of each one of what I could put in the in this transmutation table. Okay, capture gold. Okay. So I could use it as filters. You know, I could just grab one of these and filter it into the middle. So each of these, I've kept a stack at least of what I have of it, or at least one copy of it. All right, so we're going to want to get a few blank symbols from that. All they are is just gold. So I'm going to get 3, 4. I'll just get 8. That's fine. I won't need 8, but we'll need them in our setups ultimately. So then we just need to use the infuser here. It goes into the bottom actually. The blank rune goes into the bottom, or the blank symbol, and then you use the item that you want to infuse. So we're also going to get some runes. I'm going to get a gold rune for sure. That's actually nuggets. I may have some nuggets. Yeah. All right, so that's just nuggets. Okay, so grab that out. So I want at least one. Actually, I want a few of the rune symbols. These are just the ones you use, so I can get 2 more, I think. Maybe 3. Yeah, 2. Just 2 more. We'll use 3 for right now and see where that gets us. Okay. So there's our verdant symbol, and it uses the V from here. Okay. And then, by the way, I'm going to let this get... Well, it'll probably be okay now. These solidified V's, see, that's a good way to store it because I can just throw it into here. It has a 10% loss of how much there was initially, but that's not bad at all. So it's good in a way because you can't overfill. If you use 2 of them, you should get 80% full. So it uses half of one of the crucible full. All right, so we got that guy produced. Let's go ahead and produce a let's see, let's do a dirt one. 2 of them. Got some dirt. Got it on me. Now let's do 2 dirt ones, and you can stack them to produce more than one. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, get 2 of those, and then we're going to get an iron one. Okay, and then we're going to want a diamond rune. 2 of them at least, I think. 1 or 2. Just kind of thinking ahead a little bit. I may have one of those, I believe, already. I may have one of them already. I don't know if I can put them back in. That's fine. Swimming zombie, I hear. So let's see. Let's just get what we need here. All right, so those are produced. There's the 2 earth symbols. And then we'll produce our iron symbol. Okay, then let me check and see if I have some diamond runes. Yeah, I have a diamond one. We won't need the iron one. That's fine. All right, so let's let that produce. Then, as I said, we'll need at least 1 more of the diamond runes, I think. And a gold rune. Okay, get that. I got gold. Got a gold rune. And for a later setup, I'll need a flint rune, but we won't use that at the moment for our main setup here. Okay, so let's try to get this going. I'm not sure I'll finish that in this episode. I'm trying not to make the episodes as long, but again, as I say, guys, this is a casual playthrough. I'm also just trying to just have some fun with it and, you know, not be too rushy or whatever. Doesn't really matter. All right, so there is our gold rune. We should have what we need. Yeah, just doing a double check just to be sure. I'm going to need to get a couple of these out. And I might as well make some portable nodes. So I do need to make some more of these V nodes. So conduits and gold. Let's get half of what we got. Get a few of those. Okay. Inventory's full or almost. I don't know why that one didn't go to the top. We should be able to get more than one. Or no, we've only got 3. That's fine. For right now, I think we'll be all right. I'll come back and make some more. What's this? A conduit. Those are separated. All right. Let's sleep. The day goes by so quickly. I can't control that with the watch flowing time. We may do that. I don't know. It messes with your clocks and stuff. I don't have a lot of clocks going on right now, so it doesn't really matter. But I have this framed out with some of the magic blocks. I don't know if that's going to work for this setup or not. Some of this I've already practiced out. Some of it I'm going from memory. So there's mobs around us. Probably creeps. Check out where mobs are around us. Yeah, I hear the skelly somewhere. There's a creep. All right. Another thing we're going to want to produce is the Archangel Smite. And I'm interested to see how that works on the flying wisps. The bone, I don't care about. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it works on that. Okay, so I've got us a 7x7 area. You did use the magic blocks as framing, which looks kind of cool, but I'm not sure that that'll actually work. But so the first thing we want to do is just get into the center of the 7x7 area. And I'll just use obsidian as our placement block. Okay, and so we want to be right here. Inventory is a thing. I'll put up the book. We don't need it. Let's see. Let me get my bag. Clean out some of this stuff. Let's see. Get rid of the book. I've made some ender chests. I don't actually need that crafting table. That was wood. Yeah, let's get rid of the book. I made some of the ender chests that from the ender storage mod. Ender chests as such aren't in this version yet. I'll store up these diamonds. That's fine. Well, I got 2 stacks. And the gold. You know, just all that stuff. Okay, so clean out our inventory a bit. Gunpowder, nuggets. Okay, so that gets us set up here. So again, like I said, I'm going to use obsidian as a placement block, or maybe I don't even need a placement. Well, no, I do. You've got to have a vertical surface, all right, to put the runes on because they're facing inward for this setup, for this particular thing. So we're going to first start off with the earth rune, all right. So when I put that guy down, it's going to start tilling the ground. All right, so it's going to go through and till this 7x7 area. Now there's no water, so it'll go away and then till it back. We do want some water, so here's an example of that. We do want some water. We could just place it into the middle, but for this setup, it's going to create a problem in what we're going to do. So I'll ultimately end up putting water along the sides here. But I'm going to have to kind of build up a unit to do that. So I want to get my melon seeds. They're down here. Go and grab those. Because melons, you know, there's not carrots, there's not potatoes or anything in these versions. Let's see, I have melon seeds. I may need to just go ahead and make some. This works. Yeah. Okay. 13 is more than I need, but you know, there's not potatoes, there's not carrots, so the only crops you have are wheat and melons and pumpkins and all that. So this will continually fight with it. So for right now, I am going to just go ahead and place a bucket of water. I have it in my bag down, just so that we're not continually fighting that. Again, I'll end up moving the water because when you're drawing items to you, they can get stuck in the water. Not there. Grab that. Okay, let's get a piece of dirt down, and there we go. All right, that'll stop it from continually having to hoe. All right. So, as I said, this one's going to keep the ground tilled, which is good for melons because melons will, they don't require tilled ground, but they will continually, where those seeds go, they will continually, you know, when they grow, get rid of the hoe ground. So we're going to put just one like right here, make 2 spaces between them, 1 space between them, here, and here. You could see that the rune overlaps the farmland, but that's not a big deal. And so let's see, yeah, we'll put 1 here and 1 here. You kind of want to leave 4 areas on each side of it, so there's more of a chance for it to grow. These guys ought to be pretty easy to hunt since I can fly now, because they could fly and I couldn't. Now he's gonna fight me, see? Now I just need to locate where he's at. He gives me a nausea effect. See, I just need to find him and then get a bow. Boom. So that the bow, and that was a verdant one. Okay, that was a forest one. So he came from the forest. But yeah, they're pretty hard to fight. But you know, when you can fly, it's not so bad. All right. So that gets us started on that. Now we just want to apply a bone meal effect to it. I'm going to just put up the bucket. I'll need to remember to get some more water, but I'll need it here soon, so I won't forget. But we want to go ahead and use the verdant symbol to apply a bone meal effect to it. Okay, so we're going to lay down another one of those guys over here. And it's better to do it at corners because they do a 7 by 7 area. Each one covers a 7 by 7 area. So if I put one next to it, it'll miss this row down here. So it's better just to do them all on the corners. Now, you don't have to worry about breaking your farmland or anything because that earth symbol will just continually till it again. So that's nice. So yeah, put down our obsidian. The suspension block. Obsidian helps if there's a wanton creeper explosion too. Now, of course, like I said, you're going to lose a piece of farmland each time, but you know, that's not a big deal. Okay, so this guy is going to apply a bone meal effect to these when it has a source of V. All right, and if you give it the gold rune, it will speed it up. All right, so gold rune speeds it up there. And so we need to give it a source of V, and that's where we produce a portable node. It uses it up quite a bit. We'll make a setup in the next one where it's self-supplying, but right now we'll just make one of these portable Vs from the solidified V. We'll just make a portable one. All right, and it's going to feed this guy, and then see, you'll get these smoke effects as it starts to bone meal the crops. All right, so it's going to bone meal all of the melon stems. Grow the stems, then grow the melons. That's cool. Now we need to have a place to draw it toward and store it. All right, draw the items once they're harvested. This guy, let's see, with a diamond rune, the earth one with a diamond rune will harvest. So let's do that next. We'll place him here. Okay, and so the earth symbol, that's why we produce 2 earth symbols. So this guy with the diamond rune will harvest. Now it won't replant. There's nothing that'll replant. So I'll show you a setup. We're going to work on a setup for wheat that, again, it's not hugely efficient, but it's possible, so we'll do it. You can see it harvested the melons right there. It's using V as well to do that. All right, and actually, it's the one that's using the most V to do its harvesting. The bone meal effect's not too bad. So we now just want to go ahead and place a iron rune or an iron symbol with a diamond rune in it, so that we can pull the items that are harvested into a chest. Okay, and it'll only work with vanilla chests, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but if I do this and I put a chest beside it, it also uses V. Should have a chest in my inventory, but I'll need to replace it because that's my death chest. Then it pulls those melons into the chest. So now basically we have a fully automated farm, and it's pretty darn fast, guys. With that bone meal effect, as long as you can keep it supplied with V, it's pretty fast. Now again, we've already used a little bit of V. I did find kind of a workaround. Now see, there's the water. It goes into the water sometimes. If you put a lily pad, it's even worse. It'll get stuck up against the lily pad. So it's best to go ahead and put your water sources over here. You know, like one under each corner. So I'll do that and put microblock covers around them and stuff. But that is a fully automated farm, and we're going to expand it to be a V production center. Since we don't need the melons, we don't care anything about all these melons. It can go over here sometimes, go beside of it. Then we're going to expand this out to actually be a V production center. Then, as said, we'll make one that is kind of just an automated wheat thing. And then, guys, I got something to show you in the future that is going to blow your mind. It's really, really cool. Pretty laggy, potentially, but pretty cool. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Flying is a great thing. Thank you, Minecraft, for flying, and thank you, Equivalent Exchange, for creative flight using Swiftwolf's Rending Gale. So, guys, we are again ready to conquer this world. Got a lot of resources. And now we're just going to continually have more and more fun with it. So I'll see you in the next episode. I'm still having a great time with this pack. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Scott O'Mato. Have a great day. Bye-bye.